Hey, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Lake Cities Podcast. Chris and I have had an hour of warm-up to get incensed about the things happening in the world. I'm Lucas Pinkert here with Dr.
No, man. Listen.
I just want you to have a lot of letters in front of you, but you are you're getting ready to present your dissertation, finishing it up.
Got to finish it up, man, and Lord willing, I'll get some more letters here soon.
Yeah.
I just want to be finished. Amen.
Yeah, I understand that. For all of you who are listening, the last couple of weeks we've had some pretty intense interviews with Mayor Michael Barnhart and then former city councilwoman, mayor pro tem, and current member of the CDC board for Lake Dallas, Andy Nolan.
Yep.
But this week we're going to take a little bit of a lighter approach. It is summer.
It is summer, bro. Woo-hoo.
Which is, you know what? It's the time for me to go to Academy and find those Magellan shirts that block out all the UV rays so that I can go outside. That's exactly my wife.
That's better than looking for the Speedos, bro.
My Speedo days are over. They're over.
At least you had them.
So my wife and I have been married a year. Last year was the first time. So she is she's got Italian heritage, and so she gets really like olive colored tan. Okay. I get Sebastian the Crab red, dude. Like, and I'm out in the sun for 30 minutes, and I got a whole hot crustacean band. Like, hey, we're waiting for a direction.
Bro,
so
that's funny.
So I wear the shirts that block out the UV rays, we got ready to go to the pool at her folks have a pool, her dad and her stepmom, and we're getting ready to go, and I've got on a long sleeve shirt to go swimming, and she's like,
"What are you
doing?
Honey,
yeah, what are you doing?" Like, I understand the modesty thing is like, if only I could write this off as like I'm feeling self-conscious about me being fat and old. It's not that. I will literally crispify.
Oh, yeah. I hear you, bro.
And what's really bad for is because I'm like translucent, the people behind me get it worse than I do because when that refracted light just comes through me, it's bad news. So I want to know, what are your go-to activities for the summer?
Man, that's a good question because I tend to, as much as I'm sure I need some vitamin D, I tend to avoid being outside.
Oh, yeah.
I try to hide from the sunshine. Sometimes.
I can understand that.
It's like when we first moved here, from the East Coast, man, I didn't come outside until it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock. It's like, bro, it's just way too hot.
Yeah, it's nasty, man.
Yeah. And so our summer activities, man, I'm kind of boring. Right?
Good.
We just try to find anything that includes AC. Man, hadn't gone to the library all year, but we're going to go in the summer.
Check it out, yeah.
That's it, so summer for us is still kind of traditional. Our kids are older now, so we're in a weird spot, but summer is still...
Yeah, because now you can take vacation whenever you want
to. Absolutely.
Right?
And so...
You and the First Lady can go out in the middle of March if you want to and not even have to worry about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
There's something about the summer, it doesn't count unless it's during the summer. And so it's always been, vacation, travel, go check up on people. Mm-hmm. I check up on my grandmother. But Charmaine and I were literally talking about what are we going to do. Yeah. And it was like, hey, maybe we can go to Disneyland now.
Come on, man.
By ourselves, and we can eat our own funnel cake, right?
First time in 25 years you're going to get your own funnel cake.
Exactly. And so I go to activities to hide from the sun, and then once we get past that thing, to just slow down enough, man, to try to laugh a little bit and get out, all jokes aside, do try to get some sunshine because our business is inside the building all the time. And so what about y'all? I mean,
so we're in Lake Dallas, and so we're lake people. Okay, which makes me sound like I got webbed feet, but it's not the case. Man, I love. A few years ago, we were at the time I was single, lived with a roommate. My roommate and I were not in great financial straits.
Understood.
So we discovered that there was a threshold at which if we purchased kayaks, that we would be able to catch enough fish in order that it would offset the cost of the kayaks and feed us. And so for, I don't know, man, probably 8 months, all we did was eat catfish off the lake. But I really, and hybrid whenever we could catch them, I really, during that time, fell in love with kayaking.
Really?
Yeah, so I've got a kayak. My wife's got one, and so we love to kayak. Her family, they kind of grew up on the lake. Her dad's got like a wakeboarding boat, so they wakeboard, they water ski, they do all those things. This will be my first season to try that since the ACL surgery.
Okay.
So they're like, come on, you can try it. I'm like, no. The last time I went skiing, it took me 45 minutes to get up on the water.
Oh,
and I was so excited that I tried to fist pump, and they turned, and the wake got me, and I fell over, and they're like, you want to try again? I was like, I'm done.
I'm good.
Yeah, at 30 years old, getting up on top of the skis just felt like an accomplishment.
I know, it is, brother.
Yeah,
yes.
I need to go home, take some Advil, and then maybe we'll try again next week. Yeah, that's it. So I'm sure we're going to be doing stuff on the lake. I know it's a great time for fishing. Just about everything is open. There's a lot of folks that are going to go down to the beach, and we've talked about it. We're, I think, in the middle of next month, though, we're going to head up to Broken Bow up in Oklahoma. So my granddad was born in Hochatown. Like actually spoke Choctaw for a majority of his formative years whenever he was growing up before they started moonshining. So it's a real Christian upbringing I had. But Hochatown is now in the bottom, the majority of it, where my granddad lived, is now in the bottom of Broken Bow Lake. And so they had a spot on Broken Bow Lake that they would take the family to every year.
Okay.
And so it's been just over 10 years since he passed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we're coming up on 10 years since my grandmother passed. And so we're going to head out to Broken Bow Lake and just kind of go around some of the old stomping grounds that we were at whenever we were kids, spend a few days on the lake, show my wife that area.
Yeah,
I think
that's meaningful.
My parents and then my youngest brother are going to end up going with me. So I think that'll be fun
that's
to
neat.
kind of putter around on the lake a little bit.
Yeah, that's neat. When our kids were younger, we used to go to Lake Texoma.
Oh, yeah.
Like every, what was that, Labor Day weekend or something. It's kind of a big deal. And that was about as close to camping as I was ever going to get, man. Staying in one of those nice little huts or whatever.
The cabins.
Yeah, little cabins. And, as you were talking about, going back and, going over your old stomping grounds, man, it made me think about this one summer, man, that we did a staycation. I don't know if you recall when that word just kind of broke forth as
it came out
thing to do out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere because there were a lot of parents in the middle class that knew that they would get paid to take off of work, but could not pay to go anywhere.
Come on.
So they were like, we're going to have a staycation, kids.
Well, brother, that's what we did.
That's smart.
So this staycation, we go up to my mom's house. She had a pool in the back. And we went and rented a tent from REI. Again, now I'm the dude that's like, I'll go to the lake, but I'm going back to the house. Right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not building no fires. I'm not pitching no tents. So we're out here trying to pitch this tent, right? It's blazing. We're outside, and we lay in this tent probably for about 45 minutes.
Oh, dang.
The two girls jump up and like, we're out. They go into the AC. So it's me and my wife and CJ. Now, it's Texas, right? They get cool until like 4 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yeah. And then the sun's going to come up and it's going to get hot all over again, right?
Exactly. But we're laying on sleeping bags and all. It's 1,000 degrees in this tent, but we sweated it out because I wrote the check, right?
You spend money. That's what's going to happen.
We sleeping in his backyard, man. And we kind of talk about that, but it's interesting just how little, quirky things like that end up making, memories and just, fun things to reflect on. Whether it's time with the children, just time with the family. So that's going to be nice for you guys to go up there. Yeah,
I'm excited about that. I remember there was one vacation, you're talking about vacation memories. There was one vacation that we took, and it was the year after our house burned down. So our house burned down in like January of 2000. That was our Y2K issue, was the house just caught on fire, right?
Wow,
so anyway, we had our very first like big family summer vacation. We went to Colorado, went through the Royal Gorge. Dad in the 1994 Dodge conversion van.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So we all drove right? And it was like the Convergence Regency van that we picked up used from somewhere. So it had an old like CRT like 9-inch television in there. We were watching TV.
Yeah.
And so he drove us in that tank and like parachute to the top of Pikes Peak. So we got all these pictures at the top of Pikes Peak, and I didn't realize. Like I noticed when we were on the way up, the dad seemed to be getting a little bit more tense as we were going up. Well, now having come off this trip where we were driving up and down mountains, it's like there is no way on God's green earth I would have taken my wife and 4 kids in that thing, because I would have had a breakdown. Bro. I would have just started pushing people out of the van. I was just like, nope, I'm done with you. You're done talking. Like, figure it out. I'm either going to get you on the way down or start walking.
Man, listen.
But that was one of those vacations I look back on, and it was awesome just because we were all together. It was the first time that we had really taken a big, road trip as a family, because now everybody was old enough to be able to do that, and just coming off the heels of all the crazy stuff with the house burning down and adjusting to that, moving into a rental property and everything that went along with that, and now that sticks in my head. It's one of my favorite. Favorite memories of summer vacation. What about you? What are some of your favorite outside of sleeping in the tent?
Okay, so that was definitely one. The other was a driving holiday. We drove out to California.
Okay.
And like the old Bugs Bunny cartoons, I should have made a left at Albuquerque.
Uh-huh.
Well, I kind of turned a little left, but ended up going through this nature trail.
Okay.
And ended up in Sedona.
All right.
Which was several thousand feet above sea level.
Mm-hmm.
That was not the plan.
It's pretty, though.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
But that was not the plan. And so, man, I spent, I don't know, it felt like an hour and change riding my brakes, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so my quads were amazing by the end of this trip, right? And so as if that wasn't, bad enough. So I'm scared to death. There's no rail on the side, right? Charmaine wouldn't open her eyes because she refused to watch us die, right? The kids were high from sugar, so they were just like, oh, my God.
Yeah, bouncing off the walls.
And I'm like, shut up, shut up. And so we finally go through this thing. We end up back on planet Earth. And then we're like in this part. I guess it wasn't California yet, but it was dry. And I swear I saw like a bull skull or something laid out there. And I could hear some music. It literally looked like I was expecting a flat tire at any moment.
Just to roll across.
Exactly, and then some random dude trying to hunt us down, right? In a conversion
banjo
band.
Music just starts playing. Yeah.
Well, I was hanging that car. Do you understand?
No joke.
And of course, it just turned out to be one of those things they talked about me driving and being scared and you're supposed to be a man. I was like, brother, I'm trying to live. You understand? I'm hugging those.
This is what survival sounds like. Yeah. Sometimes survival sounds like a little bit of crying.
Exactly, man. And so that was good. And all of our crazy summer stuff was always somebody doing something, saying something silly, in the car and being cramped up and complaining.
Yeah.
And then just kind of laughing it off and just the bonding, man. It was really just about the bonding.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I loved going on road trips. Yeah. I think that was my favorite thing. My brother and I took several whenever we were growing up. Once we could drive, we had to have everything outlined. We had to hand mom an itinerary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where are you going to go? We're going to go to Fort Worth. Okay, where are you going to stop? I'm like, I can make it there and back on a tank of gas, But I just remember, planning those things out. One of the things I miss, and this might seem a little weird, I miss the old Mapscos.
I know, right?
Dude,
wasn't that half of it?
That was so much fun, sitting at the table and figuring out how you're going to make the trip instead of just plugging it into the GPS.
Yes.
Right? Because all right, if I'm on 66 or 287, which is, what it's called now, going through parts of North Texas, we're going to stop at the Cadillac Ranch, which was marked on the Mapsco.
Absolutely.
Right? And if you just plug it into your GPS, you're going to miss it. Yes. We're going to stop at the Cadillac Ranch. We're going to stop at the craters in Arizona and New Mexico. the world's largest ball of yarn is somewhere along the the trail, so we're gonna make that stop.
Yeah.
And figuring out those little things which were always in the margin of the maps goes in the atlases.
Yeah.
But that was a blast getting to plan that stuff out, and now. You look at it and you're like, you went the fastest route, a route with no tolls.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, where's the route that says this is the most
fun route.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like, where's the one that gives me the most bizarre stops that I can use as sermon illustrations?
Yeah, man.
I miss that so much.
Me too.
We took a road trip to California to go hang out with my aunt, and while we were on the way, this was March of, oh goodness, had to been like 04, 05, somewhere in there. And what happened is that we had driven through Arizona. It was gorgeous. And then the largest blizzard in the history of Arizona since like the 1800s hits. Well, as it's hitting, we're on our way towards Flagstaff. We end up in just this terrible traffic. We didn't have a GPS, but we kind of had everything sort of, well, we didn't have GPS on our phones. I had an old TomTom.
Okay, yeah.
That was, driving us through everything. And it doesn't tell us about the traffic, but I call my parents. I was like, hey, we're, it's going to be delayed. So if you don't hear from us in a while or we lose signal or whatever, don't worry. Yeah. We're still doing all right. And they're like, are you in Arizona? Again, there's a 47-car pileup.
Oh, my goodness.
In Flagstaff, which is where we were. And so my brother had brought a pocket atlas, and my mom's dad, he was a truck driver and drove trucks for like 60 years before he retired. So my youngest brother, Thomas, pulls out the pocket atlas and is like, I think you can go this way. And so we start going down the road on his pocket atlas, and between his pocket atlas and then calling my granddad, and we're like, all right, this is what we're looking at the atlas. This is the way that we're trying to go around about. And he was like a highway encyclopedia.
Oh, my goodness.
He's sitting on his chair in the middle of, Boyd, Texas. And he's like, no, you don't want to take 17 going that way. And we told him what we were trying to do. And he's like, yeah, and that's going to hit 85. And we're like, what are you looking at? And he's like, I've just driven these highways for forever.
Oh, man.
And so between the two of those things, in 2 hours, not only had we circumvented Flagstaff, but we'd also got to go visit the Grand Canyon. And we're on our way back to California. And I was like, you can't do that with a GPS now. Like, now it's going to be like find the fastest route.
Exactly.
And all that. It's not the same. But that was so much fun, actually navigating around it.
Yep. Man, those memories.
Talk about good old day syndrome.
I'm telling you,
Who knew this was going to happen?
Like 12 years ago?
Right? Like, do you remember when we used to have to use books to learn things? Yeah, it was absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah, brother.
Well, man, I'm looking forward to the summer. I know you got some exciting trips that you guys have planned up. You're going to go check on some family. We've got our trip to Broken Bow. We hope that you guys listening and gals listening, kids, everybody, make sure that you take your break. Enjoy your summer. Be safe.
Be safe.
Out there. We know there's a lot of holidays coming up. The 4th of July is right around the corner. Be responsible. Find a great place to go and to watch fireworks.
Yep.
And just an FYI, the 4th of July celebration for Lake Dallas is happening on July 3rd.
Ooh.
They're still calling it the 4th of July. So they decided we're not going to call it the Independence Day celebration. We want to confuse you. Yeah. We're going to call it the 4th of July celebration on July 3rd. So make sure that you be planning for that accordingly. Check it out. There's going to be lots of great places to go and watch that. But enjoy your summers safe and responsibly.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Holla.
Be good.
Chris and Lucas want to thank you for listening to the Lake Cities Podcast, a service provided by FBC Lake Dallas and Antioch Christian Fellowship. If you have a topic you would like for Chris and Lucas to discuss, email them at thelakecitiespodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you give us a review and click on the subscribe button to get the latest episodes each week.